Well, hello, I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Chris Kuiper. I hope you're enjoying your weekend or enjoyed your weekend. A little too wet out there probably to think about putting Christmas lights up. Maybe you thought about getting a little head start on your Christmas shopping or something like that. But hold on, we're not to Christmas yet. We haven't even got to Thanksgiving yet. What about Thanksgiving? Maybe you're thinking about planning on Thanksgiving or so. What is some of your favorite dishes and such and whatnot? Maybe you have some traditions and whatnot. The Kuiper family, we'd always load up in the old Ford Pinto and take that drive down to go see Aunt Betty in Orange County and Uncle Ross and go play Battleship and have lots of fun games and food and stuff like that. And we did that every year for years and years, and it was always a ton of fun. Great memories. I love Thanksgiving. What about you? Maybe you have some favorite foods and favorite dishes and stuff, whatnot. Maybe you have a favorite Thanksgiving movie. Not a lot of Thanksgiving movies out there, but my favorite, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's the classic with John Candy and Steve Martin. What about you? Anyways, what about the weather on Thanksgiving? Let's go take a deep dive here and take a look at the forecast for Thanksgiving. And you look at the 10-day forecast, well, it's not on there because we're still almost 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving. The week before Thanksgiving, kind of wet out there, at least to begin the week, and one more shot of rain potentially there coming up Thursday. But this Thursday is not Thanksgiving. It's the one way out there, and we're ending the 10-day forecast here on Monday. We got to look way out there. So to do that, well, let's take a look at what the Climate Prediction Center is thinking here. We look at Thanksgiving week here, November 22nd and 28th, and we're thinking close to average rainfall for us. So looks like the wet weather may finally start to take a pause and take a little relax or so. Let's see if Futurecast goes out that far and see what we have coming our way. Here we are Thursday. That's not Thanksgiving. That's the Thursday before Thanksgiving. That one looks pretty soggy. And then we continue to Friday, also looks soggy. And then after that, we go looking out towards Thanksgiving week. And unfortunately, Futurecast stops here, at least this particular model, Monday morning. That's the end of it. It doesn't go out any further. All right, let's take a look at the other model here that really is the other long-range model. This is the GFS. And also on Thursday, not Thanksgiving, the week before Thanksgiving, painting a wet picture here across the region, drying us out mostly on Friday and Saturday, and then going into Monday. Well, a little snow around Lake Tahoe potentially, but that's also as far as this model goes out here. So we get close, but not quite all the way to Thanksgiving. But these models do go a little further out there, just not with the help of Futurecast. So let's take a look at what they are suggesting. And I was looking at this just a day ago or so, and this was the forecast for Thanksgiving from the Euro model just about a day ago or so. But that has changed, thank goodness, so we can slice that out. That does make a key point, though. We are going way out there in the forecast, and we're looking, almost 2 weeks out. And for a weather forecast that far out, it's not always going to be set in stone. You might want to write it in pencil so you can change it or so. Forecast 2, 3, 4 days out. That's pretty decent, I suppose. But you get there a week and beyond a week, and little chances are that there may be a few odds and ends that don't quite totally add up. So let's take a look at the other model, the GFS model, and son of a gun, this one is fairly quiet here. Monday evening, that big snow that you saw earlier on, kind of dwindling on down to just a little bit of snow, and then after that, it's totally quiet. And the rest of Thanksgiving week looks totally quiet. And that's what the Euro model is now latching onto as well. So they are both agreeing, which is a key point. When they're both agreeing on something that far out, that gives you a little more confidence in the forecast. Sometimes they say one says one thing and the other says the other thing. And you're like, I don't know which way to go here. But this time around, they're both agreeing that things look pretty quiet for us Thanksgiving week. The Climate Prediction Center is also suggesting fairly quiet conditions for us as well. We've had a lot of rain this week and this weekend as well. So we've got the moisture in the air. You got to think fog is going to play into the factor here a bunch. So I think Monday morning we could deal with a bunch of fog. This is Thanksgiving week here now. Monday morning could be dealing with fog. And then after that, I do see a cool down potentially coming, and high temperatures dropping into the 50s and low temperatures maybe down to the 30s there. So, and we might have some fog there Thanksgiving morning with a high temperature in the afternoon of 53. A little cool, but you just get that oven going there as you're cooking your turkey there for however many hours it takes to cook a turkey. It's a long time, I think. That'll help heat up the house a little bit, and so maybe you balance out the cold weather that way. But again, long-term forecast, that's the way we're looking at it right now. Fairly quiet weather for us on Thanksgiving outside of, a little bit of fog, the usual suspects there for us for Thanksgiving week. Temperatures potentially cooling down, but as far as the wet weather that we've had so much of lately, and still outside right now in many areas, that looks to be calming down as we get into Thanksgiving week and getting over the grapevine if maybe your grandma lives south in Southern California. So looks easier traveling than a whole lot of snow. So that's certainly some good news.